Hello everybody and happy Sunday. It is time for my Sunday screening selection with me, Nina Soden, the redheaded author. Okay, so today we are talking about Ben is Back. It is a 2018 release directed by Peter Hedges, starring the director's son, Lucas Hedges, Julia Roberts, and Courtney Vance. This is a drama, and it's about an hour and 43 minutes in length, which I think is a really good length for such a heavy drama. So I gave this one a 4.25 star rating overall. For writing, I gave it 5 stars, cinematography 3 stars, story 4 stars, and acting definitely 5 stars for this one. So let's first take a look at the storyline. So the story is this. Ben is Back follows the charming yet troubled Ben Burns, played by Lucas Hedges, who returns home to his unsuspecting family one fateful Christmas Eve. Ben's weary mother, Holly Burgess, played by Julia Roberts, welcomes her beloved son's return, but soon learns he is still very much in harm's way. During the 24 hours that may change their lives forever, Holly must do everything that's in her power to avoid the family's downfall. Yeah. Okay, so this one did win an award for, Lucas Hedges won the award for Best Performance by an Actor 23 years and younger at the Los Angeles Online Film Critics Society Awards. I'm actually surprised that Julia Roberts did not win something for this. It was awesome, at least I thought so. And I'm surprised that it didn't bring in more awards than this. It did have a number of nominations from a number of different film award ceremonies, but this was the only award that was actually brought home and won. All right, let's talk about the critical elements, the writing. I gave this one 5 stars. Let me start by saying or admitting that I have never suffered with addiction, and I don't really know anybody personally who does. Not that much. So watching this film, I was moved, emotionally moved. The truth in the scenes and the raw openness of the dialogue just draws you in, and it rips your heart out. Writer and director Peter Hedges, I believe, did a wonderful job of telling Lucas's story. I think that the message was powerful and devastating all at the same time. He doesn't sugarcoat the pain and the deceit and the manipulation that is involved in the life of an addict. And I thought that was really nice, that it wasn't a Hollywood ending, happy-go-lucky type of story. Not all endings are happy. All right, so cinematography on this one, I gave a 3 stars. There just wasn't anything special or different about the cinematography for this film and how it was put together. It wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. It just kind of was. Okay, story. I gave the story 4 stars. I recently watched Beautiful Boy, which starred Steve Carell. It was another movie about a son who's an addict, but that one was about a father and son relationship, whereas this one is about a mother-son relationship. And I felt that if I had to compare the two movies, Beautiful Boy was probably more realistic in terms of the addiction and what would happen within the relationship of that father and son. But with that said, and I have read a number of reviews of this movie, Ben is Back, stating that the story is unrealistic and the events would never happen and Julia Roberts' character would never do the things that she does in this film. As a mother, I have to say that I would do just about anything to protect my children and to help my children. So I don't necessarily believe that it's unrealistic. It may be an extreme, and it may not be a very common thing, but I don't want to say that it is unrealistic or could never happen. So I did give the story 4 stars. All right, acting. I gave the acting 5 stars. There really are only 2 performances in this film that need to be discussed, and that's Julia Roberts and Lucas Hedges, because they carried the film. Honestly, without them, there wouldn't be a film. And they were perfectly cast, in my opinion. I've always loved Julia Roberts. She gives everything to every role that she takes, and with this one, she does not disappoint. She is raw and exposed and desperate, and she shows true unconditional love. She gave an outstanding performance, and as a mother, she left me wrecked. She left me in tears. All right, the other performance is Lucas Hedges. He really impressed me with his performance in this film. Sure, he is the director's son, and that probably got him the role, but I think he held his own with his performance. I am not at all surprised that he walked away with an award for this performance. So in the brief 24-hour glimpse into his life that is this movie, we are both swept away by his playful nature when it comes to how he interacts with his younger siblings, and blindsided by the devastating admissions into his past. Hedges does a beautiful job portraying not only the victim in this film, but also an instigator in this film. And I think it was beautifully written and beautifully acted and beautifully filmed. All right, so my favorite quote in this one is Ben Burns, and he says, "You don't know what you're doing. I'm not worth it. If you really knew me, you'd be done with me." And I think the reason I love this quote so much is because it shows just how much someone can fail to see their own self-worth. Ben is convinced that he is no good, that he can do nothing right, and that he will always fail. But when he says this, he's talking to the one person in his life that will never see him that way, that will never be able to see him the same way he does. He's talking to his mother, and she loves him unconditionally. So the truth and the pain and the aching in that quote, the "you don't know what you're doing, I'm not worth it, if you really knew me, you'd be done with me," the pain in that is just devastating. That is my Sunday selection, my Sunday screening selection for today. If you have seen this film, comment below and tell me what you thought of it. If you haven't, but you're going to now, comment below and tell me that too. There is a link to where you can get this film down below in the description. I hope you get your copy or at least check it out online. It is phenomenal. All right, if you haven't done so already, please click like and subscribe to this channel. If you want to be notified every time I post a video, go ahead and click on that little bell below. All right, until next time, enjoy those movies.